Here is Donald Rumsfeld, U.S. defense chief during the Iraq War, who died at the age of 88, boys. You know, the good news keeps rolling in. Donald Trump's organization is under investigation. Donald Rumsfeld is dead. I mean, there's so much going on. Fingers crossed for Henry Kissinger. Rest in piss, Donald Rumsfeld.
Donald Rumsfeld was brash and abrasive, infamously so. His critics say the combination was the former U.S. Defense Secretary's undoing during the worst days of the U.S. war in Iraq. Rumsfeld's take, he was right. His critics were wrong, and they couldn't stand it.
It's a fact. I'm a survivor.
Rumsfeld was a survivor of Washington politics. He made history as both the youngest and the oldest Secretary of Defense. And he did the bidding of 4 Republican presidents. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan sent Rumsfeld to Baghdad to try to broker closer ties with Saddam Hussein. But 2 decades later, it was Defense Secretary Rumsfeld who argued Saddam had to go.
In rejecting the president's ultimatum, the Iraqi regime has chosen war over peaceful disarmament.
And a U.S.-led war was the way to make that happen. He and other Bush administration officials accused Iraq of helping to plan the September 11th attacks, which it did not.
With absolutely zero evidence. You know, just completely fabricated.
2-month anniversary, smiling face with hearts.
Completely fabricated pieces of evidence that they just, again, made up.
Rumsfeld also accused Iraq of possessing weapons of mass destruction, which it did not. He was wrong, but Rumsfeld refused to say so.
We believe the intelligence was correct. It turns out that it was not completely correct.
Oh, not completely correct.
Hello.
Yeah, motherfucker, it was completely incorrect. Okay. Yeah, totally. Totally didn't do this on purpose. Totally not deliberate, by the way. Definitely wasn't trying to justify invading Iraq any way, shape, or form that they could, by the way. Oh, man, oopsie. What a big oopsie, dude.
At first, Rumsfeld embraced...
I mean, these guys, like, invented... Or not invented, but perfected lying to...
Has buffet
the entire country and the entire world, so...
the neoconservative ideology of exporting U.S.-style democracy and nation-building. But in his 2013 memoir, Rumsfeld changed his tune. I did not think resolving other countries' internal political disputes, paving roads, erecting power lines, policing streets, building stock markets, and organizing democratic governmental bodies were missions for our men and women in uniform. More important, Rumsfeld refused to plan for the possibility that Iraq could tumble into chaos and civil war. Again, he wouldn't apologize.
There are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we...
This is where that Boondocks take comes from.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns. But there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more time.
No, there are some things we do not know.
Critics said Rumsfeld's desire to spend as little money as possible to fight the war meant U.S. troops didn't have the protection they needed from roadside bombs. And they said this exchange between a soldier and Rumsfeld proved he didn't care.
Now, why do we soldiers have to dig through local landfills for pieces of scrap metal and compromised ballistic glass to up-armor our vehicles, and why don't we have those resources readily available to us?
You go to war with the army you have, not the army you might want or wish to have.
Like, he was such an asshole, even to... I mean, he was brutally honest. He was brutally fucking honest, dude. Just directly telling a fucking soldier, like, hey, yeah, whatever, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just die. Fuck off and die. It's great.
Around the world, Rumsfeld was a symbol of U.S. arrogance. The military prison at Guantanamo opened on his watch.
We are going to treat them exactly right.
That's right.
And the Abu Ghraib abuse scandal exploded while Rumsfeld was in charge. With the U.S. war in Iraq going badly, Rumsfeld resigned at the end of 2006, leaving a legacy that is decidedly controversial. Rosalind Jordan, Al Jazeera.
Startling reverse.
Now that we went through the good news, I mean, rotten piss, Donald Rumsfeld, fucking piece of shit. I would come if McConnell dies next. Yeah, that's not happening. Unfortunately, there is no karmic justice, and horrifically evil people like this just die peacefully, surrounded by friends and family. They never suffer even a fraction of the pain that they've caused to millions around the world. Henry Kissinger's existence is proof of this unfortunate reality. That's why I always say, like, you know, Donald Trump is not, he's not dying.
Of the sexual assault conviction against Bill Cosby. The 83-year-old actor was released yesterday after serving nearly 3 years in state prison. Now, the judges determined that Cosby should not have been prosecuted, but didn't weigh in on whether he's guilty. Our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, spoke with Bill Cosby inside his home shortly after his release. And we should point out she was the only network TV correspondent allowed to do that. Jerika, how did this meeting come together, and what did he tell you?
Never should have been brought against Cosby.
Well, you know, Gail, it happened very, very quickly. We were taken inside the home. As soon as I walked in, I sort of waited there in the kitchen. Andrew Wyatt, which is Bill Cosby's publicist, he went upstairs to see if Mr. Cosby was interested in speaking with me. This is something we had asked about earlier in the day. We were not allowed to have any cameras. I didn't have my phones with me. I went up the stairs. I saw Mr. Cosby in his bed. He was wrapping up a phone conversation, and he briefly spoke to me for about 5 minutes. He was clearly excited to be home. He was overjoyed and said that he felt vindicated. Definitely, though, a different feeling for his many accusers. Bill Cosby smiled and flashed the peace sign outside his Pennsylvania home Wednesday, shortly after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw out his 2018 sex assault conviction. In my conversation with Cosby inside his home, he told me the ruling sends a message around the world. He said,
yeah, that, you know, if you're rich enough, you can get away with it. Even in one of the most racist criminal justice systems on this planet, if you're wealthy enough, there is a color that matters more than black. And that's green, baby.
That what happened to him was unjust and justice was finally served. In a radio interview after his release, he spoke about people wrongfully imprisoned.
I met them in there, people who talked about what happened and what they did.
Oh my God, ultimate red flag. Vibe check failure at epic proportions. Tucking your long ass tie into your pants, dude. What the fuck? Jail. Sorry, jail.
And I know there are many liars out there, but these people can't get lawyers.
The court ruled that Cosby had been denied a fair trial when he was found guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in 2004. It cited a non-prosecution agreement Cosby made in a 2005 civil suit brought by Constand. As part of the agreement, Cosby was assured he would not face criminal prosecution if he gave a deposition in the civil case.
I'm stunned. I'm still processing my feelings.
To be fair, if it was so racist like you claim, he wouldn't be out. Yeah, totally. Like OJ's first case completely exonerates the entirety of the American criminal justice system. You're right. When one black man who did a crime can get away with it, that means the entire criminal justice system is actually totally not slanted towards disproportionately targeting and punishing black and brown individuals in this country. Fuck the statistics that show otherwise. You know, you get one rich black man who gets away with it, then hell yeah, brother.
Victoria Valentino is one of more than 60 women to accuse Cosby of abuse.
Hi, how's everybody?
Once lovingly known as America's dad, Cosby was the first major celebrity to be convicted amid the Me Too movement. Valentino was in the court.
I mean, in this circumstance, it's not even wealth directly. With OJ, it was. But I guess with Bill Cosby, it's wealth too. Because, like, being able to put together such a solid defense that the civil suit creates like a no prosecution outcome. I mean, you don't get that without being able to pay for it. There's also the other aspect here that plays in Cosby's favor, which is our patriarchal criminal justice system, which notoriously does not punish predators as regularly as they should. The entire purpose behind the fucking Me Too movement was that
Hasan has passed the vibe check, like, 22 months in a
because
row.
the criminal justice system routinely did such a horrific job at punishing predators that people had to take up arms and deal with the matter on their own. And it's not a good position to be in. It's never good to create like mob justice or anything like that. But that was how horribly the criminal justice system failed women and overall just victims of sexual assault. I wouldn't use patriarchal when women have been getting lesser sentencing for the same crime for decades. Wait, no, that's literally patriarchal. What the fuck are you talking about? That is precisely what patriarchal is. That like the assumption that like women are incapable, the assumption that women are incapable of committing like horrific crimes, unironically stems from a misogynistic attitude. That's literally what patriarchal. That's what a patriarchal criminal justice system would do. Like women getting away with much lesser sentencing for crimes that they committed, like in Canada. The famous case of the couple where the wife is already out. Also, what would you call a system that sentences women more? Also patriarchal? No, but it comes from an attitude. It comes from a misogynistic attitude to think that like women are not responsible for. Yeah, Carla Homolka and Paul Bernardo is what I was thinking of. Thank you. But it is unironically misogynistic to assume that like women have no fucking agency in instances where they are you know, also doing incredibly brutal things.
Courtroom for Cosby's 2018 conviction. She told us back then what the ruling meant to her.
It says that no matter how wealthy, no matter how powerful, no matter how famous, you are not above the law.
She says Wednesday's decision sends a different message.
It sends the message that the law is not on our side. Once again, women have been just thrown under the bus.
Spokesperson Andrew Wyatt echoed what Cosby told me.
This is vindication for Bill Cosby, and this is justice for Bill Cosby.
But it's not. Like, getting off on a technicality does not mean that you didn't actually. Getting off on a technicality where you admitted to your crimes prior in a civil suit does not mean that you were unjustly prosecuted. Why are they making it seem as though he wasn't like guilty of these crimes? He was promised that they wouldn't prosecute in that 2005 agreement. They've been prosecuted. It's unjust. No, it's a fucked up. It's what's going on, boys? Austin's here.
Well, I like the news.
Okay, well then talk. Give your takes on Bill Cosby being free after Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturns 2018 sexual assault conviction.
Are you kidding me? That's deep. I don't know anything about
Go.
that.
What about our civil liberties? What about our constitutional rights to breathe free and not be in danger now that our rapist is free?
That's incredibly correct.
Cosby was serving time for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand at this very home again back in 2004. Andrea Constand released a statement saying that the decision for her was disappointing and she was concerned about what this meant for other people who would come forward with allegations of sexual assault. Gail?
Drake, I want to go back.
No, I agree. I mean, this just sets a horrible precedent, you know?
to the circumstances of your interview, because I have to say it sounds surreal to me. Not only were you allowed inside the house, but then you're told, Jerika, come on upstairs to the bedroom. What was that like for you? What were you thinking in that moment?
I think, Gail, surreal is the best word to use. Oftentimes, you know, as a reporter, you're out here trying to get the story. On a day like this, we all know that people wanted to hear from Bill Cosby, even though he did come out earlier, and it was sort of a display of he's fine, he's well.
Hassan, I don't know how to react to this. I can react to like Trump speeches and stuff.
All right, get over there. Get in the back seat.
Okay. I could react to like a Trump rally or something like that.
Yeah. What happened? I thought you watched enough of my stream to be able to do this.
I only watch you during the elections.
Wow. Okay, we're going to move on to the removal of Britney Spears' father as a conservator.
Overnight. Wait, so it happened?
No.
They denied it?
Yeah, they extended they extended the conservatorship.
Why?
I personally believe that they did that because, well, let's watch the video first and then we'll get to it.
What even is conservatorship?
Conservatorship is when you are unable to take care of yourself, so a court, like the legal system, will appoint a guardian for you to do your finances and to protect you, basically.
Why? How is that possible? Free Britney.
This isn't the final decision yet, though. Oh, I thought this was like an extension of the conservatorship. All right, boys, that's it for Austin. So we're back. We're back to the news, boys. Back to the fucking news. Now that Austin is gone. Good riddance, am I right? He's still in here. He's still here. Okay. No more Austin. We're back. Okay. I miss him already. Let's keep going.
Setback for Britney Spears, a judge denying her request to remove her father from his role as conservator, signing an order that keeps Jamie Spears in control of his daughter's finances. The court filing stating that Britney is unable to manage his or her financial resources or to resist fraud or undue influence. The decision.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, the fraudulent behavior of her family, locking her into a permanent state of slavery.
Decision coming after the superstar's explosive testimony last week, calling the conservatorships abusive and traumatizing. In new legal filings, Jamie Spears insists he had nothing to do with his daughter's poor treatment and is demanding an investigation into her concerns. Since her very public breakdown in 2008, the pop superstar has been under a court-sanctioned conservatorship that has given her father and others power over her personal and financial affairs. During the explosive hearing last week, Spears said she had been drugged, forced to perform, and prevented from removing an IUD meant to stop pregnancy. All decisions, she says, were approved by her father. But Jamie Spears pushing back, pointing out in new court documents that control of his daughter's personal life and medical treatment isn't currently under his control. He blames Jody Montgomery, a temporary conservator who was brought on in 2019 to oversee Britney's personal affairs. An attorney for Montgomery says she's been a tireless advocate for Britney and for her well-being, also noting that decisions about marriage or family planning are not affected by conservatorship. But one expert says the rules and dynamics in a conservatorship are rarely straightforward.
It's my impression that Britney has been under this conservatorship for so long.
13 years of legal slavery where Britney tours the world, does a Vegas residency, does all of this stuff and more. And then they turn around and basically extend it. How are you so unable to take care of yourself and yet you still are making millions of dollars a year for both your captors and their legal team, including your legal team that is working against you? She has the wherewithal to be able to tour the world and do a Vegas residency, but not enough to have her own freedom. The lady that's speaking is Amanda Bynes' conservator. Really? Dude, what is up with these, like, jailed women of Hollywood? It's wild. Like, a lot of these young stars just kind of lose it for understandable reasons. And then they're held captive in perpetuity by the very same individuals too. Like, it's almost always the same people, dude. There's like an entire industry for this. The judge only denied a motion to immediately remove her father as a conservator. Britney wants her conservatorship eliminated entirely. The next hearing in the case is currently scheduled for July 14th. It is possible that Britney will submit a petition for the conservatorship to be terminated. It's incredible to see like how this works.
She truly feels compelled to do what the conservator wants, or in her own words, she feels she'll be punished.
Let Britney speak!
Since Britney's testimony, there's been an outpouring of support in person.
Yeah, the real thing is that disabled people are hyper marginalized, partially due to capitalism too, because like you're not a productive worker, so therefore your life is literally worthless. And as a consequence of that, oftentimes this is like a massive disability rights issue where
has capital.
People just walk all over you. I'm not saying that conservatorships are almost always inhumane. I understand why they exist. I mean,
let's go.
My grandmother has Alzheimer's. Okay. She's been living with Alzheimer's for, I don't know how many, 10 years now. Okay. There is 0% chance that she would be able to take care of herself. And, you know, my father takes care of her. And my uncle takes care of her. So I totally understand why, you know, certain people would need something like this. And the legal protection from others that could potentially harm the individual. But having said that, I feel as though conservatorships are often, or at least in a lot of high profile cases, super abused. Conservatorships are supposed to exist so that conservatorships are supposed to exist so that people don't exploit the person that can't take care of themselves. They're not supposed to exist to legalize that exploitation. It's literally like who crossed the finish line first. Like someone was going to fuck her over regardless. So, you know, it should be me, her father. That's basically what this situation feels like.
Online under the hashtag Free Britney and from celebrities, including fellow pop star Christina Aguilera just this week. Spears has thanked her fans for their support and said during her testimony, "I just want my life back, and it's been 13 years, and it's enough."
Yeah, and important to note that that was not a final decision that the court made. So then what happens next in the court battles ahead, Miguel?
Well, Hoda, we are still waiting to see what Britney and her legal team do next. As we mentioned, the judge was responding to an older petition with this decision. She has until mid-July to file another petition. We know that, of course, Britney and not to mention her fans feel incredibly strongly about this situation, and all eyes are on what she'll do next.
Indeed.
We don't know the full details. We don't know exactly what she's like behind the scenes.
Hassle.
But I feel like there should be a impartial, I feel like there should always be like an impartial third party cycling psychiatrist that does like yearly checkups or something like that in order to deal with the abuse. Like there needs to be more oversight. And the reason why I say third party and the reason why I say cycling is because that judge
to the big one.
that is overseeing the current conservatorship argument is very clearly a judge that has done other conservatorship cases. I looked into her background a little bit, and she has been a mediator in other kind of predatory conservatorship deals. So it almost feels like these guys are specializing in basically locking people up. Even in this situation where there's like some sort of regulatory oversight, that system could be abused as well. And you could have like the conservatorship psychiatrist that you take your clients to. and they always just auto process it. You know what I mean? And that could be very fucked up
for
too.
showing me how awful America is.
It's normal for counties to divide up judges by case type. No, I understand that, but she was a mediator in a different conservatorship case, so she wasn't like a judge where she was the one who designed the conservatorship and another judge was overseeing it. So clearly, this is her specialty. The judge, not the judge, one of the lawyers that has been overseeing Britney's side for the past 13 years has been getting paid $10,000 a week. Has made more than $6.7 million and has not even told Britney Spears that she was capable of filing to end the conservatorship. Talk about abandoning your most significant responsibilities. Like, there should absolutely be a bar review for every single judge and every single attorney that has been involved in this case. I haven't been paying attention to this. Why do we care about Britney Spears, to be honest? Because a system that churns out, a system that can legalize slavery for a blonde, white Southern woman who is mega rich is probably routinely behaving in a significantly more, or in the exact same predatory way towards no-name disabled people, okay? How do you not know that? How do you not understand that? It's so easy to just be like, oh, she's just rich. Why should I care? It's like, well, she's not. It's not her money. She's making money for the people that are holding her captive, for the system that's holding her captive. If it was impossible for you to take care of your own finances and also take care of yourself, right? Because it's not just your finances. It's like your finances are limited, certainly, but also like they're monitoring everything that she does. If you're incapable of doing all of that, then how are you capable of touring the world and also having a Vegas residency and putting out albums? That makes no sense. And the seriously scary thing is that if it wasn't Britney fucking Spears, this would have never been brought to light. Yeah. Except the really, really scary thing is that it is Britney Spears. It has been brought to light. And yet, there is still no justice. That's the really scary thing, that they can do this in front of you. That's how little rights people with disabilities have in this country. That, like, the perception of a debilitating disability is enough for the American justice system to just completely take away your autonomy. So it's more so a disability rights issue than anything else. And I say this as someone who believes that there could be uses for a conservatorship. I'm not like fully in favor of abolishing it. And she's also subjected to a never-ending cycle of abuse that probably does not help her get out of the mental state that she might be in, that perhaps justifies the continuation of her conservatorship. You feel me? Like, if you're held captive for as long as you've been held captive, like, you're not going to have it all, not everything is going to be working fine up there, right? That's an incredibly traumatizing experience. Now let's move on from a person who was held captive, a blonde woman who's held captive by her father, to one who's had an entire career as a consequence of her father, Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain is officially announcing her departure from The View at the end of the show's season, saying, "This was not an easy decision. I'm just eternally grateful to have had this opportunity here. So seriously, thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart." Dude, this is funny. Dude, the roast has got me on my tippy toes. I'm quick with it today. I'm quick with the jokes today.
I am here to tell all of you, my wonderful co-hosts, and the viewers at home that this is going to be my last season here at The View. I will be here through the end of July to finish out the season with all of you, which I am grateful for. This was not an easy decision. It took a lot of thought and counsel and prayer and talking to my family and my close friends. And, look, COVID has changed the world for all of us, and it changed the way, at least for me, the way I am looking at life, the way I'm living my life, the way I want my life to look like. And when I said goodbye to all of you in the studio over a year and a half ago, I had just found out I was pregnant. I left the city very quickly because my OBGYN wanted me to leave because he wasn't sure about how COVID could possibly impact pregnant women. I came to the DC area, which is where my husband and I have always split time, and it's where I grew up splitting time. And we have this incredible life here. We're surrounded by my family, his family, by friends, by this.
I wonder if they're like subbing her out for a newer model like Tommy Lauren or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if she's leaving on her own volition or if she's being forced out of the View. She's gonna say she's canceled regardless so that she can launch her new media op. Why would you say that? Oh, no. Oh, because I said Tommy Lauren? Yeah, it might happen.
Incredible support unit. And I think, as any new mom knows, when I think about where I want Liberty to have her, first steps and her first words, I just have this really wonderful life here that ultimately I felt like I didn't want to leave. On a professional note, this show is one of the hands down greatest, most exhilarating, wonderful privileges of my entire life. And I have had so many amazing experiences in my life, and this is definitely one of the top. It is a privilege to work alongside such strong, brilliant, intelligent, incredible broadcasters like the four of you. You are the most talented women on all of television, hands down, and it has been so incredible to be able to do this with you. Before I came onto the show, I didn't want to join the show, as I think I've talked about in the past, and it was my dad who encouraged me to do it. He said that I could never give up an opportunity to work on such an iconic show and to work with Whoopi Goldberg, and he was right. It was one of the last things he told me to do before he died, and since we've been here the last 4 years together, we have won an Emmy, we've gone to #1, we've been parodied on Saturday Night Live, we were on the cover of my personal favorite of the New York Times Magazine as the most important political show in America. We have all interviewed every presidential candidate. This is the show.
Bro, this goodbye letter is even more psychotic when you hear things that she's saying, like, this is the most important. The New York Times calls it the most important political show in America. And she's not even wrong, to be honest. Like, unfortunately, it is true. Like, that's so sad. But, like, it is one of the most watched political... Like, this is how American women inform themselves, okay? Is the View that big? Yeah, it's fucking huge, dude.
In America, and it is not easy.
So many Midwestern American moms ignore themselves. Oh, I couldn't even say it. Yeah, so many Midwestern and just like American moms in general educate themselves on political issues by watching The View. It's like what Hasanabi is to you, The View is to your parents, your mom.
Easy to leave, but I feel like this is just the right decision for me at this moment, and I just want to thank all of you, Whoopi, Joy, Sunny, Sarah. I also want to thank Abby Huntsman, who was a good friend of mine, continues to be a good friend of mine, and has really helped me with this decision and ushered me through this process. And I also really want to thank our incredible leader, Brian Tetta, our executive producer, who is the heart and soul and Morpheus of this show. And I would not have had any success on here without you. Your leadership is paramount. We are grateful to have you. At least I know I am. And I want to thank Kim Godwin, the president of ABC, for being so respectful and understanding, and to this incredible crew.
Chad, I only fuck your moms. I don't actually inform them on politics.
And the producers and everybody who makes this work every day. Again, you're the best in the business. I wish nothing but continued success and good wishes and good luck to all of you and to this show. And I'm just eternally grateful to have had this opportunity here. So seriously, thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart. And I will still be here another month. So if you guys want to...
Someone in the chat said, do you think Meghan said it's me or my hairstylist and they chose her hairstylist?
A little bit more. We have 4 more weeks.
Oh. Well, you know what? It has been quite wonderful to sit across from you. Your dad was very smart. He wanted you to be here with us because I think he thought we could help toughen you up for what was coming, which was
so true.
You know,
I want to say Whoopi Goldberg hates her, but I don't think she does.
We have 4 more weeks.
Oh.
Well, you know what? It has been quite wonderful to sit across from you. Your dad was very smart. He wanted you to be here with us because I think he thought we could help toughen you up for what was coming, which was,
So true.
you know, this wonderful baby you were going to have, and his departure. So it was an honor.
So true.
When he said, "Please take my child." He didn't say it like that, but he said,
He said she's a pain in the ass, too,
Please
by
take
the
my
way.
child.
It's okay.
Yeah, yes, he did say that. He did
He said
say
she's
that.
a total pain in the ass.
So it's really something. That's right. That's right. You remember that, Sonny? You were sitting next to him. You said, "What? I'm sorry. What did you say?"
I was here for that, too.
He also told me that he told me to take it easy on Meghan, that I would learn to love her.
How does she have any clout? Her only credentials are father, LMAO? No, it's literally what that is.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna build you a keyboard. What
It
size
is
you want.
straight up her only fucking credential. That's it. There is nothing else. She has nothing else other than her father.
And understand her, and that she would be a pain in the ass, and he was right about all of those things. You know, Meghan and I probably talk every day,
all the time
after the show. We text during the show, and I'll miss those conversations. I think you have a really important point of view. And it's just been wonderful.
Also,
getting to
Sonny,
know
I
you.
hope I can share this, and it's not too much information, but he is dead now. But my dad also backstage was like, Sonny is just gorgeous. That woman is striking.
Well, we do know John McCain was a bit of a fucking horny guy. Wow, this video is crazy. I've never seen... This is awesome, dude. This is just like old rich conservative women behavior. Just like 8 minutes of just passively fucking one another. This is a bunch of old posh conservative ladies literally just passively jabbing at Meghan McCain's like announcement of her final exit, like her exit that they've clearly been waiting for.
And then they went on air and had this like connection
We
on
were
air, and
crushing
I was
on each
like,
other.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. If anyone rewatches it, I think he had a crush on Sonny, which is kind of uncomfortable, but awesome too. But if you watch it, and then afterwards, Sonny goes, "We really connected," and I was like, "Okay, well, fantastic, you guys."
Damn, that is so awkward, dude. What a fucking weird way to end that. Yeah, by the way, my dead dad who cheated on wait. Is Meghan from the first marriage? It is, right? Or no, Meghan's from the second marriage, right? The first marriage that John McCain had, his wife literally waited for him while he was a prisoner of war, got like significantly disabled.
Nice.
And John McCain came back, paraded her around, and then cheated on her. Yeah. And then left her in the dust and had Meghan McCain.
You're a pretty woman when you saw one.
Good for you, though. You know, it's a full circle moment to know so much of your dad's words brought you here, and yet your calling for your daughter and your family is what takes you away. I think it's beautiful. It speaks to the paradigm shift that is the world now on the heels of a 2020, and it has been an honor to sit here with you.
A person
I wonder how wild the
who's the
hairstyle
daughter
will be for
of
her
a
last day.
person of note. It's been an honor to sit here with you, the daughter of John McCain.
You are tough. That's all I can say on daytime TV. But I mean,
you are the...
Wait, what the fuck else was she about to say? I think the word that they're looking for is she's trying to say she's a bitch, right?
People.
The best part about working with you is that you see the light and beauty and positivity and everything, which is not a gift I have. And even in the most intense situations on this show, you can always bring levity and in life in general. And you know, you're just like this ball of light, and it's a pleasure to be around it. So thank you. And Joy, I will miss you too, even if
what she was doing here a moment ago is that TikTok trend, white women tears. You know what I'm talking about? Or a bunch of like white girls on TikTok were demonstrating that they can like cry on command. That's basically what she's doing here.
in
Look.
general, and you're just like this ball of light, and it's it's a pleasure to be around it. So
Did you guys know that? That's like a thing that was on TikTok. It was like a trend for Vampire Diaries or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Thank you. And Joy, I will miss you too, even if I will miss discussing with you. And I wish nothing
Damn, she's not having any of that, dude.
for the best for all of you.
We have, you and I have had our disagreements. We've had our fights. We also had some drinking moments, which were rather fun and interesting. But I have to say that, we have in common, you and I have in common, as do all of us here, that we're on a show where we stick our necks out, we take the blowback. We take a lot of hits on this show, and we stick by our points of view. You have done that brilliantly for 4 years. I hope that you can say that I did the same thing. I really appreciated the fact that you were a formidable opponent in many ways, and that you spoke your mind, and you're no snowflake, Missy.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Thank you, and thank you, Joy, and really, it's just, this show's incredible. But my final note to the world watching, this show will continue. The show will probably be on long before all of us.
Save the world, my final message, and then boom, she pieces out. That would be funny, but that's not gonna happen.
Us are here, we're long gone. The media needs to do a better job of covering the women on this show in general. As Joy pointed out, it is not a fair fight. We are covered with deep misogyny and sexism by the media. Though if 5 men were doing what we do every day, I really do believe that we would probably have a Pulitzer Prize at this point.
What have they done that would deserve a Pulitzer?